Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are you today? Today is episode number 16. Can you believe it? It's episode number 16 already
Mm.
of Relaxed and Raunchy Relationships with me, Ingrid Galloway, and our special guest today. Her name is Iman Davamoni. She is the founder of Purely Polished, a platform to book on-demand beauty treatments to have in the comfort of your own home or chosen location. It can be in a hotel as well, by trained and trusted mobile beauty professionals. She launched the startup while she was on maternity leave in 2016 after realization that going to the salon for busy people like her, new moms, was difficult. So she built her minimum viable product, or MVP. This is a new term that I just learned this morning. He was like, Iman, what is MVP? Oh, it's minimum viable product. Learning a new thing every day in 6 weeks. And then she launched the business, and then they have their first booking within a week. That's awesome. They launched with nails to begin with as the main service, and then now they offer variety of beauty treatments such as hair, makeup, lashes, facials, massages, and spray tans. Awesome stuff. And Iman is also a mom of two beautiful babies, Amira, who is nearly 5, and then baby Zain, who is 4 months. So, wow, I think you look super duper good for a new mom. I don't know how much sleep
I
happened.
haven't slept much.
I'm not sure how much sleep you've been having lately, but from here, you look good, man.
Oh, thank you.
It's quite interesting how the new form of working from home has been, amazing for a lot of people. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially for moms, I guess, because well, they have to stay at home, and then
yeah,
what do you do?
yeah.
So, people, I am very excited about our podcast today because I know that a lot of you are entrepreneurs and a lot of you are into relationships. That's why you chose to tune in to my podcast. So today, in particular, we will learn on how to, start your business with a minimal amount of money. That will be very, very interesting to listen to. All right, we will learn more from Iman a bit later. But first up, I think she has something to do about me.
Yes, yes. So thank you so much, Ingrid, for having me. I'm really excited to be part of your podcast. But to tell the audience a little bit about yourself, which I'm sure most of them already know, but to give them a bit more information. Um, Ingrid Galloway, she is the founder and relationship coach, as well as a chief relaxation officer at KAHYANGAN. Have I pronounced it correctly? Perfect.
Kayangan.
Kayanan.
Kayangan. So almost there.
A little bit more practice. She's been a relationship coach for 11 years, a spa therapist for 21 years, working at 5-star hotels, day spas all across Sydney. She used to look after thousands of highly stressed out clients from all over the world. She practices from her home at 5 Dock and also goes to clients' homes, offices, hotels, and also in this new environment in particular, practices online as well. Her work has been focused on stress, relaxations, and relationships. She has a very kind soul, always seeking to reach out to support the healing process for many stressed out people, particularly here in Sydney, the brokenhearted, lonely singles, stressed out parents, and loving couples that cross her path. She does one-on-one sessions, group workshops, wellness at work programs for companies to create better engagement and harmony for their teams. So that is how we've also crossed paths, and I'm very excited to be here today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Iman, for the introduction. So first question, I'm quite curious to find out your why. Why
Yeah.
do you do what you do?
Look, ever since I was young, it's always been my dream to start a business. I come from an entrepreneurial family from both my mum and father's sides.
Yep.
But I grew up with a dad who ran many businesses in Singapore before we moved to Australia, actually. And so I'd go to his offices and watch him run his business with a big team. But then, you know, as I grew up, you know, just trying to figure out my own path. But he passed away when I was 23, which was when I was really kind of starting to focus on the business, you know, building a business. And we were going to open up something together. But I then fell into the corporate world, started to work in human resources, spent 15 years working there. But then, you know, I got the itch after traveling with human resources around the world, and got the itch, started an online homeware store. And then, you know, then I got a bit sidetracked because I started to look at a different business model, Purely Polished, and then started that. So yeah, it's really just been my passion. I love building things and then creating and just seeing how you know, it can grow.
Fabulous. So do you still do the homeware business?
No, I left that to the side.
Yeah.
It was pretty successful, but at the same time, that is a business that requires a lot of capital. So, you know, I could have run both, but I think with Purely Polished, I saw a lot more potential opportunities for it.
That's right. And less capital, less risk.
Yes, less overheads. And Purely Polished really is a very exciting concept, something new to Australia, which I wanted to bring.
Wonderful. That's great. Awesome. I hope you learned a couple of tips already from what she shared so far. Awesome. Thank you.
And what about you, Ingrid?
Well, as a relationship coach, I started when I was going through my self-healing journey from my first marriage, because I left my 10 years of marriage with my first husband because it was an abusive relationship. And it's funny how during our sort of like last year of the relationship, my husband my husband at the time really said that, no, I don't want to seek help. I don't want to seek help because he really believed that seeing a psychiatrist or seeing a psychologist or marriage counselor will definitely break the relationship. It's funny how, you know, when someone are stuck in a belief that is not true, So because he didn't want to work on himself and that side of the marriage, I just look for, you know, a psychiatrist to have some counseling to sort of like heal myself and strengthen myself, and then I change to become more assertive of myself. So the lesson here for some people that may be watching, I let go of my own power. So I didn't assert myself because of my mistakes in the past. I sort of like gave the power to my ex-husband, and then so he kind of like ruled over me. But there is no regret whatsoever with that relationship. I learned a lot. So I love him unconditionally. You know, it was painful at the time, but moving forward, hey, I gained so much. And then I went back to college studying counseling and life coaching, and straight away I knew that I would be a coach and niche in relationship. Wonder why? But I'm here because I am passionate and compassionate to help people in sort of like similar sort of boat. High stress level, some depression, some anxiety, so they can heal and strengthen their relationship.
Amazing. No, like, I think you're the perfect person to do something like this. I can see you're full of life and you give a lot of love. So I couldn't think of anyone better to come to for these sorts of topics.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. And I make it fun.
Yes. Important element.
Yes, definitely. So it's, believe me, people, coaching is not scary.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people maybe have the wrong perception of coaching, maybe scary. No, it's not, especially with me. I'll make it fun, I promise.
Yeah. It's all about growth.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So another question that I have for you
Yeah.
is your 3 tips about how to launch a startup business,
Mhm.
especially with little funds and quickly. Because I know,
Mm.
with COVID, people talking about pivot, pivot,
Yeah.
pivot. It's kind of like the overuse of the
Oh
sentence.
gosh. Yeah.
But actually, it's true though. If you get sacked from your job, for example, what else can you do? Like, how
Mm.
can you start your own business? Maybe you have this in the background already. Oh, I really, really want to create something like this, but
Yeah.
I've been so afraid to start my own journey because of the comfort of being employed by someone else, right? I'm
Mhm.
sure this is a very, very common thought that people have.
Yes, exactly. Look, it is a very scary thing to move from, a secure job to not having a secure job.
Yeah.
But if you're left in a position right now based on COVID with less hours, or maybe at the moment you're not working because of COVID, it is a really good time to think outside the box.
Mm.
It doesn't mean you can't still look for a job, but you can then also focus on maybe building something so you can have it as a side hustle until it grows to a point where you're happy to leave. For me, I was on maternity leave, but I didn't leave my job until 8 months into the maternity, or no, nearly 1 year. I resigned when I saw the business was growing.
Yeah.
So you do want to have that validation, and basically to
So you
get that.
unplugged
Yeah.
partly. So partly unplugged first, and then you unplugged full time.
Yes, exactly. So that's why you want to, I guess with my tips, my top tip is to launch quickly, because you want to see if the business will work. You
Mm.
want it to start showing you evidence quickly, because that way you can start to make decisions about, what you want to do, where you want to spend most of your time. So basically, my advice is to get the business out there, build your product quickly. So it could be, a landing page of a website, or it could be a website with information about your relationship coaching services, or a product that you want to sell. And there is a lot of tools. So that kind of leads into my second tip, is the tools and technology. There are so many easy to use tools out there, so you can build a website very quickly on Squarespace, Wix, or Shopify. Do it yourself. It will take you a few hours, maybe a day at the most, to get something basic up and running, and an MVP, so minimum viable product. And there's so many beautiful templates, and then you can connect it to so many different tools to make it easy to grow and manage. For example, if you're looking for subscribers, you would connect your website to an email marketing platform. You can connect it to Google Sheets, to just store all your clients' details that way. So that way you can start gathering information, which will help you with my third tip, which is marketing. So then marketing is the area. It can be a bit daunting if you don't come from a marketing background, but
Yes.
just jump online and there's a million articles that will help you, and what you can do to start getting the word out there about your business. And there's free things that you can do through emails. So get that subscriber list. You can also look at potentially writing blog articles with keywords that will help the search via Google if someone's looking for your services. That's called SEO. And then paid ads via Google or Facebook if you're wanting to invest in some paid marketing as well. So top 3 tips is launch quickly, get something out there,
Yep.
so you can start to test it out to the public and see what people's opinions are, and then change along the way. There's lots of tools and technology out there, and then just start to learn about marketing, because that's going to be a big part of any business.
Oh, definitely,
Yep.
definitely. I mean, as a therapist, I know that hands-on, I'm very, very good therapist, but I'm not a marketer. But as a solopreneur, I need to embrace both. So now,
Yes.
after how many years of practice, now I'm comfortable speaking, publicly, like in front of you, being watched by God knows how many people behind the scene. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it takes years of practice.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Yes. Um, it would be great to find out what your top 3 tips are as well, Ingrid, from a
Yeah,
relationship coaching perspective.
no worries. Top 3 tips about relationship. I'll say this time, observe and listen to what your partner likes and dislikes. My husband always said, "Oh, I'm afraid to buy you gifts because you have strong likes and strong dislikes." So I said, "Well, you just gotta listen to what I say." Observe what I do. You will
Yeah.
definitely know what I like and don't like. And
Yeah.
then you surprise them to make their day. It doesn't have to be, like a diamond ring every day. Mind you, I don't mind a diamond ring or two. It doesn't have to be super duper expensive. A
Yeah.
little gesture. Say, for example, if your partner likes flower, then occasionally,
Yeah.
without being prompted, give them flowers.
Yes.
Yes. So because you know what they like and surprise them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Number 2 will be tell each other why you love each other and how much you mean to each other. The problem is after being together for some time, you tend to take our partner for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we no longer, when you first get together, you're so hot and heavy. You're like, oh, I love you, saying I love you how many times a day? It's like, oh, I miss you how many times a day? But then you've been together for some time, and guess what? You forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids come along, business come along, study come along,
Yeah.
more responsibility at work come along, then you forget each other. So tell each other why you love each other and how much you mean to each other. It's so healing for the soul, honestly.
Mm.
And then tip number 3,
Yeah.
uh, go all the way, make deep and meaningful love together.
Important top 3.
Oh, especially for ladies, if you are a man watching this, especially for ladies, we need to be sort of like what do you call groomed, or we need to be prepared 24 hours. So
Oh
not
yes, it's a
yeah
longer
not
process.
go,
Yeah.
not
Not.
go like 1 minute, hey, let's go to the bedroom. Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, ladies, we like to be, build up a little bit
Yes.
by a little bit. It may take 24 hours. It may take a bit less, but by doing point number 1 and number 2, I'm sure point number 3 will be.
Yes.
Now,
Super special.
very special. This is the word I'm looking for.
Bellissimo.
All
No,
right.
great top tips. Yeah, I totally agree. I think they're very relevant. We've just had a baby. My
Yeah.
husband's on parental leave for 6 months, and we just have a very busy household at the moment. So we do need to listen and remind each other.
Yes. Right. You can practice this straight away. No.
Yeah.
And then now, guys, we come to the fun part of the podcast, true or false statement. I got these 2 statements from Iman. The first one is the first photo Iman's husband saw of her was Iman hugging a giant penis. Number 2, the first photo Iman's husband saw of her was Iman hugging a giant teddy bear. Which one is true that leads to a funny story? Number 1 is so juicy. I can't go past that one. So I'll guess number 1.
Yes, that's right. I guess it was really hard not to look at the teddy as the as the option. But yes, this is a bigger story. But basically, before he met me, he saw a photo of me hugging a giant penis statue in
Yeah.
the Amsterdam Sex Museum. Somehow it had gone all the way from London, where I was living, down to Perth.
Oh, wow. So he came from Perth.
Yep.
Yeah. And then what did he say after he saw that, picture with a
Yeah.
giant penis.
I think after a year, he came to London and met me through my friends. And he went, "Oh my gosh, you're that person. You're that girl." And I was a bit taken back because I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yes.
So yes, and then there's a bigger story after that about how that happened and why that happened. But yes, it was the first photo he ever saw of me.
Yeah. I'm sure it's unforgettable, like the
Yeah,
song said.
that's it.
Thank
And
you.
what about you? Oh no, you're going to tell us your true and false. You are. Oh, I've got to read it out. Sorry. There we go. So true and false about Ingrid. Ingrid's holiday host had to run out the door when Ingrid was cooking in the kitchen, or Ingrid's holiday host had to open the door and windows when Ingrid was working in the kitchen. Which of this was true or false? I would have to say maybe the doors and windows, because you seem like a good cook and maybe there was just a lot of steam in the kitchen as opposed to running away from your food.
That was correct. So number 2 is correct. Recently, we just come back from our holiday in the country New South Wales, because the border is still closed. So hey, holiday locally.
Yeah.
And the host, husband and wife, they used to, or they still, at the moment, they're not traveling anymore, but they used to travel and sail all over the world, including in Indonesia. So they lived in Indonesia for quite a few years. They love Indonesian food and everything Indonesian, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being a person that came from Jakarta, Indonesia, I cooked them a feast, actually 2 feasts, 2 nights we were there. And the first one, every day I cook sambal. The sambal, we use the shrimp paste and a lot of chili. And, when you fry those sort of combination, adding with onion and tomato and something else, wow, it's just like overpowering. And people start to cough, and myself, and people start to cry, including myself. And so I said, please hurry up, open the door and open the windows. We need to let this out. But the food was amazing. They
Oh,
loved
yum.
it. Yeah.
Oh, sounds delicious.
And the rest of the family, when they came back home later, said, "Oh, I come back home," because they lived in Indonesia for a few years. So they really make them felt like they're home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, I thought they were opening the windows rather than running away. So
Yes, yummy food at least. So we come to the last question now, because the podcast is called Relaxed and Raunchy Relationships. What do you do to either relax or add raunchiness into your relationship?
So I guess right now that's not a huge focus, raunchiness into the relationship, because right now we're just really just coping and trying to survive. So with a new baby, a 4-year-old who's at school 3 days a week, and then running the business, we're just juggling and trying to make everything work. So we very rarely have time for ourselves, but maybe you can provide some suggestions. But to relax, I go for a walk along the coastline. I live in a beachside suburb.
Yep.
I practice yoga. I love to get massages, and when I can. And then on the weekends, we try to make it a weekly event where we all go to have breakfast down the street with each other, just to like switch from chaotic weekly work / drop off mode into sort of family mode. And that's basically what we do to kind of relax and unwind.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. It's so important, isn't it? Like, with kids and business, it's just so busy and all consuming, so to speak. Yeah,
It is.
we need a break,
Yeah.
Yeah, even a small break is appreciated.
100%.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, beautiful people, for watching and listening to our collaboration today. We hope that you learned a thing or two about practical things that you can do to de-stress, make you more relaxed, or add raunchiness into your relationship and empower yourself in what you do today and beyond. If you need more support from Iman about, launching a small business, or even book a treatment in the comfort of your own home or the comfort of your hotel room, you can connect with Iman. How do they do that, Iman?
All they need to do is just to jump on to purelypolished.com.au, click on book now, and they can book in a service, and someone will come out to their home and give them a lovely pamper.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if you need more help with your relationship issues, please connect with me. Remember, you don't have to wait until you're on the verge of a divorce to see a relationship coach, because prevention is better than cure, isn't it? Now, you are most welcome to stalk me online, and no threats though. Book a call to ask more questions. Just swap your detail on www.kahyangan.com.au. So that's KAHYANGAN. And also, please like and subscribe my YouTube channel, Ingrid Galloway, and I look forward to connect with you next time. I have more uplifting and fun chat, just like this one, with local and global business owners, because I really believe that this is the perfect time to connect, to support each other as human beings. Yay! Keep well and lots of love. Thank you so much, Iman.
Thanks, Ingrid.
Have an awesome day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.